Hi, I'm Tim Ford. Welcome to the Hay Matters podcast, where the Feed Central and LocalAg team unpack the very best of what's happening in Australia's fodder industry. From planting through to baling, testing and feeding, we cover the characters and the information that matters most to everyone in the supply chain.
It's Steve Page here from Feed Central and LocalAg, and I'm here at the AFIA conference on the Gold Coast for 2025. And this morning I've got Harry Divall with me, and Harry's farms down around the West Wyalong region, and we've associated with him for a few years now. He's last year's one of our Hay Award winners, National Hay Award winners, I believe. And yeah, just want to have a chat to you, Harry. Welcome, and what can you tell us about your operation?
Yeah, g'day Steve. Thanks very much for having me. Originally, I'm from Goulburn, and it's quite a cold state, or a cold area, isn't it? So anyway, started down there, working through school, and just knew school wasn't for me. I wanted to get out as soon as I could. I went rouseabouting for 2 months while I was still at school, just to get away from it. And when I got home, I said to Mum and Dad, I just don't see that I'll be going back. And they said, righto, well, if you're not going to go back, you need to get on the farm and start working towards a goal. So I got off the farm and spent a couple of years around Goulburn, fencing, doing livestock. We've got 600 Angus cattle down there that way. So I spent a lot of time in the yards, learning all about that sort of things, slowly getting a passion for it. It seems for me that any direction with agriculture, I find passion. So the livestock was the first stop for me, and then we ended up purchasing a mixer and starting to maximise on our steers and heifers. Weight gains down there are quite difficult in the paddock because everything's so cold. So we were looking for any way we could to try and to push those numbers to get them out the door sooner. With that, we knew that we needed some feed to put through the mixer, and we weren't able to produce any hay in Goulburn for being so cold. It was every now and then we'd get lucky and might be able to make something, but for the most part we needed a warmer climate. So we pushed out to a farm that my pop had at Stockinbingal to start working towards that. Dad bought our first Massey 2270 XD in 2016, got on to that, and that's where I found my next passion. Slowly working out how to make hay and going through the struggles, and it was a struggle, and from time to time it still is. So it sort of evolved into there. I started spending more and more time at Stockinbingal producing the feed out that way, and it sort of just spiralled from there really. We're now grown into an operation. We've got 2 Krone, 1 6 and 1 8 string baler, and we're producing sort of anywhere from 15 to 25,000 bales a year, depending on the year. And with the gear that we were getting to try and push our operation along, I knew that we needed to offset ourselves a little bit and expand. So we started doing a bit of contracting for the local area, and that's difficult from time to time as well. But I really enjoy trying to help people and trying to make a difference. And any way I could do that, that's what I was trying to do. Yeah. So that's pretty well it at this point.
So Harry, since you've started doing hay, what have been your major learning points since you've started, and where you see it going in the future?
Yeah, so definitely just trying to make the hay between the weather has always been difficult. There's a lot of talk goes around of making that quality hay, and to make quality hay you can't have that rain get on it, and going through the motions of cutting it thinking there's no rain coming, and then a week later the forecast completely changed and we're dealing with rains, and trying to work through that and work out what works. We've been playing around with tedders and different row sizes to see what works and what we can still manage to hold some quality even with the weather that comes through. It's been a roller coaster, there's no doubt about it. It's such a short time to try and get on my feet and learn it, and I've still got an awful lot to learn about it. There's no doubt about that. Every year's a new year and a new challenge.
With Feed Central's Local Ag, you can connect with farmers and suppliers across Australia, increasing your market and ensuring you get the best deals wherever you are. List your machinery, livestock, feed and more for free, and take advantage of Local Ag's safe and secure payment system, CheckVault, to ensure all of your transactions are protected. Feed Central's Local Ag is providing Australian farmers with trusted connections and transparent trading.
So what crops do you grow and what rotations do you have for your cropping?
So on our western farm, we do a rotation of oats, barley, vetch on a 3-year rotation. It's something that we've incorporated in the last 2 years, so we haven't quite had a full rotation yet. We grew our first lot of vetch last year, and that was really exciting. It went surprisingly really well for us. It's a hard crop to grow and something that we're still trying to learn about a bit more. And then on our Stockinbingal farm, we're doing a canola, oats, barley, and then a legume, which we've been for the last sort of 7 years putting a lucerne in for 3 or 4 years, and then back into our rotation after that.
So where do you see yourself going? You've obviously gone more into hay in the last few years. Do you see that progressing? How are you spreading your risks on those rain events and that type of thing? Are you looking at, spreading your risk through grain crops and different varieties and everything like that, I take it?
Yeah, absolutely. So with our oats, if the conditions are not going to suit, we'll push more towards the silage. Because of the cattle we've got at home, we're able to play around with that a little bit and push that feed into the mixer. And with our barley, it's quite seasonal as well. If the conditions are not stacking up when we're getting to that point where we want to cut, we'll start pushing some paddocks to grain and then just start to stagger our cutting times to try and account for anything that might be coming. And then our vetch is very much an opportune crop for us. We're happy to see it just go to a, what do they call it?
Green manure?
Yeah, green, that's it. Yeah, dry feed to the ground.
Yeah.
Because we're really chasing that nitrogen fix and soil health from that plant for sure.
Yep. Okay. So you're also spread over a reasonable sort of geographical area too, so that would assist with your events, rain events and that, or you see just sort of that rain event keep coming across on you?
Yeah, no, absolutely. So driving between farms, it's incredible to see the difference with what an hour or even a couple of hours drive can do. Our West Wyalong and Stockinbingal farm, more often than not, are chalk and cheese. There's always one farm is wetter than the other, or vice versa. And then going down into Goulburn, we get to the range at Gunning, and the conditions will just change completely. You go from a beautiful sunny day to clouds and dew and moisture, and it's always wet down in Goulburn. If you want to get cold and wet, that's where you go. And then we've got places at Crookwell and Taraga as well, and they sort of push to be more cold there again. But it pushes our seasons a lot later down there. So we could be making hay in January down in Goulburn, Crookwell, Taraga. So it's certainly our first cut around the middle of September, and our last cut could be right through to the middle of January.
And shed space, you've got sheds for what you're producing or how you store it, and what's your marketing, how your marketing system's working for you?
With our storage, we've got one shed at West Wyalong, which has got a capacity of 750 bales. We've got 3 sheds at Stockinbingal with a capacity of 1,500 down there. So we'll make sure that we fill all those sheds before we start paddock stacking. Tarp and hay is something that we got into last year that I found quite successful. There's some things that I want to change. I'd like to start plastic tarping from the bottom to the first bale, even in the paddock, because I couldn't believe the quality that was coming out of those stacks just from doing the top tarp. So just trying to stop the moisture coming in from the bottom as well. I think that we're quite promising going forward for us. Obviously, sheds are king, but it all comes down to cost at the end of the day. As we're still growing as fast as we are, sheds, stuff that we're looking into sort of 3, 4, 5 years down the track. We'll just slowly keep building those sheds to make sure we get that hay under them. Yeah.
Just congratulations too. You're now on the board of AFIA. That was a great achievement for you. And what do you hope to achieve in there, and what's your learnings from there?
Yeah, thank you. No, it's really, really exciting, and I really appreciate everyone that's supported me and allowed me to take this journey. So I really want to progress on what AFIA has already accomplished. I'd like to see AFIA become the go-to place for information and be able to lay out that information to all our members in a handful of different ways, whether it's videos or writings done on the way people have made hay or silage. I think that everyone learns differently. Me in particular, I'm a visual learner. I like to see it out in the paddock, and I'll watch YouTube videos, and I think that there's a lot of people out there that are much the same that would learn from that. So I'd like to push towards that a little bit.
All right. Thank you very much, Harry. Lovely to catch up with you again, and hope to see you later on the season.
Awesome. I really appreciate it, Steve. Thank you.
Thank you for listening to the Hay Matters podcast. If you're interested in sponsoring the podcast or getting your brand in front of our national audience of 20,000 plus farmers, growers and agribusinesses, get in touch with the team at Feed Central to find out how. This podcast is proudly presented by Feed Central and Local Ag. Stay tuned for upcoming episodes.